So happy New Year's Eve. That's right, today is December 31st, 2021, and gosh, we have about 3.5 hours to go before we hit 2022, and as you can see, we're in the midst of a big party here. No, it's just me and Sinbad tonight. Mom's already asleep. And we had our toshikoshi soba, which is what we usually eat as our last meal of 2021. Well, not we, as in Mom and me. Sinbad had his usual meal. And I usually watch the red and white song competition. It's called Kohaku. And it's when they have teams of male singers and female singers, and they do this little battle. But, oops. But I decided this year not to watch it, mainly because there's no one that I really like that's performing. It's the usual celebrities, but there's a lot of new singers and groups, and none that I'm really familiar with. So I decided instead I'm watching the Criminal Minds Marathon on our Fox channel. Somehow, does that seem kind of bizarre to watch a Criminal Minds Marathon on New Year's Eve? Anyways, I just thought I'd show you a little bit of what we did today. Just little snippets of how we spent New Year's Eve. So let's go ahead and take a look at that footage. They're bringing out all the party platters. So once again, not the most flattering of angles, but this is just sort of a spontaneous, spur-of-the-moment filming. I am out running my last-minute New Year's Eve errands. I just finished going to the pet shop where I stocked up on Sinbad's pet sheets. Amazingly, the area around Aoba Station where I go to get his pet stuff was super uncrowded. So either people have returned back to their hometowns, they're in their house getting ready, cooking all the New Year food, or people are just being smart and staying in. Wishful thinking. All right. Someone's already a sleepyhead. Anyways, as promised in my previous video, I thought I'd share with you my favorite New Year's Eve here in Japan. English in Japan. It was kind of rough being away from family over the holidays. We didn't have the internet or social media, or any means to contact people except through the telephone, and at that time, it was really expensive to get a phone line. During the first year also, it was really hard because I didn't have a lot of friends. I mostly did work, came home, went out to eat, wrote letters, and it wasn't until I started getting involved with a community center dance class that I felt like I was making new friends and doing something that I would normally do back in Los Angeles, which is take dance classes. I was super lucky because the dance teacher at the community center spoke English. In fact, she spoke really good English, and so it was great because I was able to take dance lessons, and I had a friend that could speak Japanese and English. Well, maybe during the second or third year. I can't remember whether it was 1989 or 1990. But my dance teacher was asked if she wanted to participate in this New Year's Eve marathon at Tottori Station. And she accepted, and she got 2 of her students, myself and another girl, to perform in Tottori Station on New Year's Eve in the freezing cold. I don't remember whether it was snowing that day or not. We had to wear like our leotards, and we danced to the song Real Love by Jody Watley. I'll show you some footage of it, but just because of copyright, I'm going to take out the music. And at that time, I really didn't speak a whole lot of Japanese. And when we were on TV, for just like a little snippet, the interviewer asked me a question in English. She asked me what my name was, so of course I could answer that. But I had no idea what was going on. And now, years later, I find out what the reporter and what my dance teacher was saying. And so my dance teacher was just basically saying how she teaches these dance classes at the community center, and she also had her studio. And it was through the community center that I started going to her studio, and pretty much every New Year's Eve I spent with her and her family, and it was great. I really cherished that time that I was able to spend a New Year's Eve with somebody that was just so helpful and so kind. And sadly, we lost touch. I did take dance classes a lot, and we performed on stage almost every year. And so that was a great extracurricular activity for me. But I'll never forget that New Year's performance, because a few of my closest friends in Tottori came and they taped it. But if you remember, we didn't have very good video cameras back in those days. It was like those really big, bulky ones. And so my friend Jim from Canada brought his recorder, and my friend Mark came and took photos and cheered me on. And I think there was another friend. I think a guy named Sasaki came. That was one of Mark's friends. And to this day, I'm still really good friends with Mark. Hey, shout out to you, Mark. Because he's also here in Tokyo still. We were in Tottori together at the same time. And yeah, so when you watch the news clip, he's the guy that's taking the camera. He got on TV too. So that was such a fun way to spend New Year's Eve in the freezing cold, dancing at Tottori Station and being on TV.
長木真子先生も発音がいいですね。 揃えるのはこの2人だけの人という始末でございますが、リハーサル十分重ねましたので、どうぞ温かい目でご声援をお願いします。
Yeah, I have one more special New Year's Eve, but I think that one's not going to be in a video or talked about in a video. Some things are best kept secret. So as we wind down 2021, I think we're all hoping for a better and healthier 2022. So as we wind down 2021, I think we're all very hopeful that 2022 is going to be a lot better. It's been a rough 2 years. I don't know, the 2020, 2021 hasn't exactly been my favorite years, but I do feel blessed to have the people and the animals that I care about still in my life. I'm happy to be healthy, and I can't complain because I have a roof over my head. I'm doing a job that I love, and I'm able to spend time like this creating and sharing things with people that I feel really blessed to have in my life. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for believing in me and sharing your kind words and your encouragement with me, not only just here on this YouTube channel, but in other social media and in real life. Alright, I'm going to start editing this so I can hopefully get this out before we hit midnight. So thank you so much for watching. Have a very happy New Year. Send Betsy a happy New Year. Have a happy New Year, and we will see you in 2022.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance